hopefully you got to appreciate that with the music and the dancing as well on both counts there. So I was so proud of myself. I thought it was so cute to find a song that matched his beat and his rhythm to the little snowman and everything. So that is one of the scenes I wanted to show you guys that I made, and I used Envato Elements to get the animated video, and then the snow might have also been Envato Elements. If not, it was Canva. Usually use one of those two sources, and then I got the snowflakes from there as well. So let's see who's just coming in. Oh, okay, right. Dick is coming in as well. Did any of you guys make any festive holiday scenes?
We also have Michael here, just so you know.
Yes, I did. I said hello.
Oh, okay.
I
Sorry,
did.
I missed that.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
we're already old friends now. We've been introduced.
Well, I'm a fan. I mean, I have my video pencil ready right here.
Yeah, nice, nice.
So it's definitely a tool that I love. Michael, are you able to stay with us for a little bit, or are you here just for a few minutes, just so I can time?
No, I'll stay. I'll stay. Yeah. I had no idea what to expect today, so I've just sort of turned up, and suddenly I sort of reread David's message, and he was like, "Can you talk about?" I was like, "Oh God, I should probably have something prepared." So I've chucked some notes into a thing. But yeah, I can be here, answer questions, talk as long as you want. I've sort of like, I'm here. I'm here to hang out for a bit.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. So today is a festive gathering. So I've prepared a little bit of trivia. Anybody who wants to show off some scenes. And then also, we decided last month to talk about what are the add on tools that we love to use with Ecamm. One of the ones that I love is Video Pencil. So then David made it happen for you to join us today, which is great. And then how many of you guys, just a quick show of hands, how many of you guys have used Video Pencil or are currently using Video Pencil? Okay, so a couple of us. Awesome. All right, so quite a few of us. So Michael, you have a crew here. And then so yeah, when Michael goes over the tool, we could ask questions or share the different ways that you guys are using the program. Hey, nice, Phil. I like that. Very good.
Missed that.
Awesome. So, Michael, I am curious. Let's see. Does anybody know Daniel Blanquiet? I let him in before, but then somehow didn't come in, and now he's coming in again.
We can try it, and I'll keep an eye.
Okay. Yeah, and Marty's coming in too. Oh, great. Yay. So, Michael, I'm curious. I wanted to ask you about I know that you make other tools in addition to Video Pencil, but I have to admit, Video Pencil is the one that I use, and I started using it when Doc Rock made a recommendation. You were on a video with him. You were doing a live stream with him. So when we heard, "Hi, Marty,"
Hello.
and let's see, we have Daniel coming in as well. Hello, Daniel.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome, Daniel. Is this your first time with us?
It is, yes.
Awesome, awesome. So I know everybody, but since we have some new people in the house, why don't we just go around the room and talk about your first name and how you use Ecamm in the world of education or in the education space, whichever field that is, if that's all right with everybody. So let's see. First on my screen. Let's see, David, you're first on my screen. Do you want to kick us off?
I'm David. I use Ecamm for everything. I never do anything without Ecamm. I eat, live, and sleep Ecamm. And I'm really happy to see all of you.
Beautiful. And David, in the world of education, what do you do?
So I'm a rabbi, and I run a number of different educational programs I have 140 preschoolers that I take care of, and then I teach all the way up to 90-year-olds in adult education. So I span the whole gamut.
Did you say 190 preschoolers?
No, just 90.
190?
Up to 90.
Still 90.
That would be impressive.
That's a lot of preschoolers.
That would be impressive.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. And you also offer a lot of assistance. I feel like you're willing to help people learn tech stuff besides Ecamm. So I
Absolutely.
feel
Yeah, I
like,
work with a lot of church leaders and religious leaders around the world, really, and train them in Ecamm. I do a lot of work with Zoom, um, Roadcaster, Video Pencil, Stream Deck, Zoom OSC, Zoom ISO, Zoom Tiles, all those cool things. I'm in this meeting 4 times today. I've got Tiles in this meeting. I've got Zoom OSC in this meeting. I've got my meters in this meeting. So yeah, I do a lot to this stuff.
okay, awesome. Thank you, David. Marianne, I have you next on screen. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, hello everybody. I'm Marianne. I'm a YouTuber. I'm on Instagram. So my content is about using planners, also physical planners, not just as a productivity tool, but as a form of self-care for those who are women in their 30s to 50s. Who feel a little bit overwhelmed and, anxious for most times. So we use it to embellish our planner pages. So while we're planning our to-dos and tasks and bills to pay, we use it as a form of mindfulness. And so I guess in the education side of things, well, I am a homeschooling mum as well of a 15-year-old who's on the autism spectrum. But in the content side of things, I guess I share how I plan and how I use it to manage the overwhelm and the anxiety that does come, whether you're a stay-at-home mom working, outside of the home, to have fun with stickers and colorful markers.
Beautiful. And you are obviously from your accent in Australia, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it's
Okay.
Sydney here, 8 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, so I saw the thing pop up on Discord and I went, oh, gotta join.
Great, Marianne. So happy you're able to be here with us.
Thank you.
Darren, passing it over to you.
Sure. My name's Darren. By day and early afternoon, I teach IB English, ninth and 12th grade high school, and late afternoon through the evening, sometimes at night. I'm also a church consultant, and I work with churches in terms of building curriculum, also podcast as well. And I use Ecamm. I can't say every day, but every day I'm thinking about it, and maybe every other day using it in one form or another.
So true. I know. I was thinking the other day, like, what would happen if I just had to join a Zoom meeting just the old fashioned way with no Ecamm? But thank you, Darren. And forgive me, Wisconsin Motorcycle Safety Program, because I am blanking on your first name. Please help me. Is it Les?
Yes, Les.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
I'm Les. I work for the Wisconsin Motorcycle Safety Program. I use Ecamm in a couple different ways. We teach a curriculum that is copywritten, excuse me, from the Motorcycle Safety Foundation. So I use Ecamm in order to make videos and deliver live content. The only thing as far as YouTube is concerned, everything either goes out on Zoom on a private thing or it's unlisted videos. So I come at it from a standpoint of I have 230 some rider coaches and 32 training providers in Wisconsin that we provide content, professional development training for. So that is my captive audience. On the other side, or another side that I use Ecamm, is I'm a safety officer for the Blue Knights. It's a law enforcement motorcycle club. And I'm also the GLRC, the Great Lakes Regional Conference safety officer. And I just started using it a few months ago for promoting our safety message, which I am putting out on the public side of YouTube to not only to our chapters, Blue Knights chapters, but then hopefully to get the regular public, motorcycle enthusiasts interested in the safety message we're trying to get out there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Les. It's on my bucket list to learn how to ride a motorcycle. I know how to ride a scooter, so
Partway there, yeah. Yep.
Part way there. Thank you for joining us, Michael. I have you next on the screen.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm here today to talk about my stuff, but I'm thinking about it. I'm an artist that just has ended up doing a lot of programming for a living. So I've been using sort of OBS since about 2014, and then I sort of made a camera app, and then that ended up sort of introducing me to Ecamm in 2020. And so, I don't so much teach as talk to a lot of people who do a lot of teaching. And in fact, like I think the origin story of Video Pencil is actually I started doing some calls with different people, and I talked to this woodworking teacher who was using one of my apps in the classroom, and he was sort of like showing stuff on the Apple TV in the room, and I thought I think it'd be quite good if you could draw on that as well. And then I sort of kind of went from there really, and kind of found David Paskin, and then sort of the Ecamm community and the office hours community, and all of this kind of the people that want to do something a little better than just turn up on Zoom with no snowy backdrop whatsoever.
Thank you
And I'm
so
in
much.
Edinburgh, and it's just gone 9 p.m. here, so.
So, are you anywhere near Martin McKenna? I know he also lives there.
I don't know, so maybe we should find out.
I wonder.
I don't know.
He's another Ecamm fan member and he has come to these meetings. He's not here today, but he always says sunny Edinburgh. That's what every single time when he talks.
Okay, well, we should have coffee.
Definitely. Thank you so much for joining us today, Michael. We'll come back to you to hear more about Video Pencil. And you already have a lot of fans in the room. So Phil, coming over to you and your festive holiday decor.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I made this about 4 years ago, and I've never made anything else. These flashing lights I'm talking about since for the festive season, but I was able to find it in my files, so I just added it very quickly.
Perfect. Good job.
Yeah, I thought I'd better kind of show some sort of creative ability. I use Ecamm with Zoom when I'm teaching a software product that I actually sell. So I'm in the printing industry, printing and graphics industry. And there's a color management software that the printers use. So I often do demos and teach people how it works using primarily Ecamm, but sometimes Zoom as well in meetings. So yeah, that's really it. But I also use Ecamm to record lots of kind of YouTube content videos anyway. So that and I used to use Ecamm a lot more. I was making videos for yoga studios and that a few years ago. So yeah, quite a lot. I've been doing quite a lot of Ecamm stuff, but that's it. It's quite a wide range of things I use Ecamm for.
Absolutely. Wow. So interesting. Thank you, Phil.
Mm.
Marty, I have you next on screen. Welcome back, Marty.
Hello.
So good to have you back in the group.
Sorry, it's been a while. So I'm Marty. I'm a kids author, and I'm using Ecamm primarily to teach writing workshops for kids. I cover from kindergarten all the way up to grade 12, and I need some holiday spirit. So I want to wish everybody a happy holiday season's greetings from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And every time. Okay, hold on here. All right.
I love it.
So there's my Christmas spirit.
Oh, thanks, Marty. So cute. Thank you. Daniel, welcome. This is your first time with us. Glad to have you.
Thank you. I feel like I'm a little unprepared because I'm on straight Zoom.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'm actually not sure how this this sounds like a very like a purpose like a narrow purposed meeting. So I'm not sure how I ended up here, but I'm glad I'm here.
Oh, hey,
So
great.
I use Ecamm not as much as I'd like to. I'm looking for more ways to use it. I help my wife I have a setup over there. Um, she does some adult education and coaching. So I kind of produced that for her using Ecamm.
Oh,
Um,
awesome. What
yeah.
kind of coaching is it?
It's kind of business and personal development coaching.
Okay. Awesome.
And I'm planning on doing more of that for people in her circle, small business owners and coaches and things like that. So I love Ecamm. I love the itch that it scratched. Because I come from a background of learning how to do these types of things in college a long time ago. And when I found Ecamm, I was pleasantly surprised at how much of that can be done in software, and I just love it. So I'm looking for more ways to use it and maybe learn something from everyone here.
Absolutely. And as you've heard and will continue to hear, everyone here does education in some way, but there's no official
Mhm.
title required to be a part of it. It's, it can be training, development, really
Mhm.
any aspect. It's just this is what ties us. The commonality is doing education in some way. So don't feel like there's anything official that's required to be a part of the group. You're more than welcome to be here with us. So glad
Got
that
it.
you're here.
Thank you.
Stephen, coming over to you.
Apologies, I joined a bit late, but I'm getting the gist that this is introductions. Am I right?
Yes, we have quite a few people joining us for the first time. So I thought, you know what, let's just go around the room and share a little bit about how we use what field of education we're in and what we use Ecamm for, and also where we're located because it's quite dispersed today.
All right. Well, I am coming to you from the beautiful city of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and where it's already dark, but the snow has left. So
Mm.
now we just have a little bit of rain, but it'll be back. So, and I do spend some time in the U.S., but I'm a dual citizen. So if that's a piece of trivia you might like to know, I've got two passports, which just simply means that I'm most of the time confused, especially being part American and part Canadian. I don't know what to make of anything anymore. With that said, what I try to do as an educator is empower people to master money and unlock its potential for them, demystify, disrupt all the cliches and things surrounding money so that people can get their money moving. My philosophy is money moves or it dies. And if your money is sitting around doing nothing, you're already losing money. And I try to bring a very non-technical, non-finance world approach. I don't earn commissions or fees. I'm not a broker. I don't place people's money, but I am purely an educator on all things related to money and by extent by investing. So, what have I used or what do I use Ecamm for? It's probably a shorter list to say what I don't use it for because it's amazing. I was just, as I was listening to everybody, I was jotting down, I made myself a little checklist here. So I do previews and boot camps. I record videos. I do workshops, meetings. Um, let's see. I do online summits, online panels. I do fireside chats. Anytime I'm on Zoom as a participant, it's through Ecamm or MS meetings or any other source that I need to use a camera. I use it for my coaching and consulting. I broadcast on Twitch with it. What have I missed? I'm not entirely sure. And now this is another conversation for another day, but I'm seriously looking at starting an OnlyFans page where I'll be using this to record. And please don't read into that anything more than you should read into that, other than I'm using possibly that network to bring money and investing. So not what people do make a lot of money normally on that place, but I've always been a bit of an innovator. I'm a tech geek. I'm a big nerd. I've been like that for my whole life. I'm a hacker and I love anything that I can get. And that's how I waste a lot of time also is by following amazing people that I've met in the Ecamm community. It's just, that's such a genius idea. Like the Santa Claus popping up a moment ago. It's like, I'm going to take that and run with it. So that's me in 2 minutes, hopefully, or less.
Thank you, Stephen. Yes, I know Marty brings some inspiration. It's always good stuff. And Dick, coming over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Tatjana. Yeah, Dick Hulsebos. I'm a Dutchman living in Sweden. So it's dark here also, Stephen. It's already, and we have still a lot of snow. And I enjoy it every day. What I do with education is I'm a core teacher or a main lecturer, how you will call it, for the Master of Business Engineering. It's for all kind of working students, managers, directors, etc., who start with a study again to see how they can align their business processes. So it can be from advocates till someone in the industry, or someone from an airport or hospitals. Doesn't matter. So everybody has his work processes, and that has to be aligned. A lot of people are working on something, and we are always arguing that we have our goals, we have our KPIs, etc. Yeah, and I'm some kind of headmaster about it for all these modules that are given. And I started this about, say, 7 years ago. Before that, I did a lot of work in the industry, automotive. I'm also, did some development on airplanes. So I did some in multimedia, in the defense industry, etc., etc. A lot of things. So I'm now on an age that I say I want to share my knowledge, and I found Ecamm for this. I like all these techniques. Like you said, I worked in multimedia, and that was for the special effects of films. But I like to keep it always simple, not a lot of things. What I used Ecamm is to put myself in a picture, and on the background I share my all the knowledge or all the stuff, my spreadsheets, etc. With the students. At this moment, I'm working at a company, and they do also online lessons, but they have their own system, and that is just, you can put in PowerPoint, whatever. But I'm using, of course, a Mac. And then, you have all your disabilities using that system, and now I can have this virtual camera and a lot of stuff behind it. So I'm looking for all the kind of possibilities, how I can use it, all the technical features behind Ecamm, and that's
And there are
huge.
so many. There are so
So
many,
many
right?
things
There's
and so
so
many
many
ideas.
possibilities.
Everybody, yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much, Dick. And Sunny, coming over to you to share a little bit about yourself with the group.
Greetings, everyone. I like to say I'm a New York girl living in a Mississippi world. I'm a former journalism educator of over 15 years at Jackson State University and a couple of other universities. And currently I am an adjunct at Oral Roberts University, teaching students to do public speaking and digital society. Some of my kids are high schoolers who are doing dual enrollment. So this semester I had kids as young as 13 through 17, and that was interesting. And I'm owner of Speak and Shine LLC, which is part of Speak and Shine Academy. During the pandemic, I found a way to utilize my skills. I have my own Speak and Shine Youth Club, helping kids practice their communication and leadership skills. And during the pandemic, I wanted to do more podcasts, and I thought by using Ecamm, that would be the way to do it. But life happened with caregiving and other things. I had gear acquisition syndrome. I've got so many items still not hooked up, but I'm working on it. But basically, this past year has been a game changer for me, learning how to use Ecamm, hooking up with Tatiana, who has worked with me a couple of times, just giving me some extra time. So I'm very excited on using more ways to do it. I teach a lot, and I do Toastmaster events, and I'm trying to get better at making my presentation sparkly by using Ecamm. It's wonderful. I really like it almost as much as I love Zoom. Back to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Sunny. And yes, and I will say, I think, Michael, this is probably one of my I just love playing with this tool inside Video Pencil, which I know doesn't come with the original purchase, it's an upgrade, but I just want to say how much I love using the Magic Wand tool, or I'm not sure if that's the actual name for it, but that's what I call it in my mind, the Magic Wand.
It was a Christmas present last year that I made, and then just enough people wanted it back that I sort of brought it into the little stationery store in Video Pencil.
Beautiful. Well, Michael, I'll pass the mic over to you to share a little bit more about Video Pencil. Just a reminder again, if you guys could share, how many of you guys already have Video Pencil? Okay, and do you feel comfortable using it? Just so we know, like, levels here. Does everybody feel pretty comfortable using it? Okay, awesome. All right, Michael, so that gives you a room full of most people who like Video Pencil and also know how to use it. So we're here for you. And also, if you guys have questions or specific things, this is your chance to talk to the creator of Video Pencil too. So thank you so much for joining us. Oh, and Kathy, I just want to give you a warm welcome. Michael's going to present a little bit about Video Pencil, but if you have any questions, and then I'd love for you to introduce yourself a little bit later too.
All right, shall I jump in?
Yes.
So you might see a couple of weird things happen today because so just if a big block of grey appears on screen, don't panic. Right, so Video Pencil, as it seems like most of you know, is an iPad app that lets you draw on your webcam, sort of using Ecamm Live or whatever else, and it just lets you. Basically, the idea is anything you want to share, you can draw on it, so your desktop and whatever else. So it works with Ecamm Live via NDI or a couple of other ways that I've come up with, and I just thought I'd show you if I can show you what like Ecamm Live will look like there. Let me just make sure I'm previewing like what you're seeing. So the Ecamm Live window is as are you seeing that? Well, I'll let you use
to
your
drag it over
imagination.
onto the screen. Yeah.
I need to. Let me just come back. Yeah, we've got it's sharing. Let me just. You see, as I said,
Michael, on this scene, I
Yeah.
hear some extra audio going on in this particular scene.
I think we're getting. Let's come back, and I will just tell you. I'm just gonna talk about it because I did not spend long enough putting that together. So basically, what you're going to do is you're going to take your.
Sorry, Michael. I just want to double check. Is anybody else hearing the audio issues? Okay, so
Is it
for
still?
some
No,
reason-
it should be gone now.
I just
be okay
muted
now.
everyone, so we should be able to hear it. Should be okay.
Oh, okay.
We should be okay now. Yeah, no, it was because I was sharing the Ecamm window,
No,
and the Ecamm sound
still
was
there.
then piping it back through. Is it still?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
still there. A little bit of slap.
All right,
which is
hold on a
weird.
sec.
Well,
Hold on
it's
a
not
sec.
the
Let me
worst
just.
thing in the world, but
If I quit Ecamm, are we okay now? Is that better?
yes.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
better.
yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry. Right. So what happens is you have your Ecamm scene. There's you in the scene, and then you have your iPad with this Video Pencil app running on it, and this sends out a wireless layer which you can just sort of add into your Ecamm scene, and then anything you draw here is just going to appear sort of up there in your scene. So whatever you're sharing in Ecamm is going to come back through. But the best thing about it is whatever is in Ecamm will be visible on the iPad as well. So it's this two-way connection. I can see exactly where I'm drawing, and that's basically the idea of it. There are sort of various ways to connect it. I'm getting tilted here because this is what happens when you present using. Let's do a screen share. Pick all screen shares screen. Okay, so if anyone has ever had any issues connecting, which because NDI is a little bit of a crazy black box, something that I would say, since I've got you all here, is Ecamm Live could be easier to set up, I have made this open source framework for Ken and Glenn to use. So if they wanted to make it easier and enough people bothered them, then they could actually make it just happen automatically. So my big sort of thing with Video Pencil setting up, a lot of people have trouble kind of finding that network connection and kind of getting the layer the right size and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what a lot of my Discord conversations tend to be about, and that's what I think I've spoken to at least to a couple of you on here about this on my own Discord in the past. So yeah, that's just something, if you want sort of, if future people want, if you want to see it, because the thing with the way it works at the moment with Ecamm is you're going to get a ghosted, you're going to see your drawing on the thing and it's going to be doubled up. So that's just something I wanted to mention. The other thing I wanted to talk about was yeah, and then I can just show you the app if it connects as it should.
And while you do that, Michael, I just want to ask the group,
Yeah.
how many of you have experienced
Okay,
how many of you have experienced that where you're using Video Pencil and it's coming across double on your iPad screen? It doesn't come across in what we all see, right? So you probably all know that why that happens, as Michael was saying, is the overlay in Ecamm isn't sized fully covering the space. Even if it's off by the tiniest little amount, that will double. So once I get it in place, I definitely lock that so that I don't accidentally move it, because inevitably I will accidentally move it. So if you guys don't lock it, make sure you lock it. It will save you a lot of headache and having to, like, I am one of those people who got in touch with you on Discord about that.
Yeah, for sure. So this is what Video Pencil looks like. I just I'm just going to send, like, just so that you can, because let's try sending the camera. Oh no, we don't want to do that. Let's just have me. So this is what it looks like. You've got some sort of 5 little customizable pens. So each of these you can sort of pop up, you can change the color, you can change the thickness, and then so you can sort of quickly access your different shapes and colors immediately. Why don't I actually go to a board? So you can see, you can sort of, have all your different styles. We've got the ability to, say you've drawn something and you're not quite sure, you can sort of select it, grab it, kind of move that around, and so that's quite a useful thing to be able to do. We've got the ability to add symbols. So say you've got a chart kind of coming up, you could say, okay, let's see, here it went up, and then here it's, this is an interesting thing to talk about. So you can sort of add little symbols in really quickly. We've got a laser pointer. So sometimes you want to draw, but you don't actually want to leave anything there. So you can just sort of like quickly highlight something. And we have, and something, this is sort of like, this takes a bit of getting the hang of, but we can say, hello. Yeah, it never cooperates on it. So there is a way to add text directly in just by talking and drawing an underline, which sometimes I think it's being weird because it's connected to the computer. And then we have, of course, we've got the sort of Christmassy sparkle wand as well, which always makes people happy when you use it. We've also got, say you are sort of showing something, we have the ability to zoom in and sort of like pan through. So you can load in media. So you could sort of like say, okay, like, watch this guy, where's he going? And you can sort of like pan through your footage with this control up at the top. You can sort of zoom in, zoom out. So actually, I think this is the guy that's doing something here. So it will sort of like let you kind of draw. You can say, okay, watch the angle of this, and just like scan through and then press play, or you can sort of play that in, slow motion if you wanted it a bit slower. And then, when the touchdown is scored, which I missed, when that's scored, it's coming up here, and then you can, just have some fun with the sparkle wand. And we and something a way that I really like to use it. I wish I didn't have this feedback happening right now. there's a thing that's meant to stop that happening. Right. You can actually sort of like tell stories just using the pan feature. So you can sort of like have, I don't know, what do I draw? Like you can say, here's someone he has a dream, and then like next up he's like, goes out to work and does a thing. And you can sort of like almost sort of like put together your little comic strip by just like pushing up. It's sort of like you're pushing up the blackboard. So that's a way that I find quite fun to use it. And then finally, this is going to be a bit weird. So I'm going to sort of, this is going to be sort of sharing me. But let me see if we can do this. So if I'm just talking, so say, I don't know, I did a little, I don't really have something to demo, but say something happened and someone came in. Oh, I've got a Christmas tree. So, it's not, but what we could do is like, so I just showed you that, but I could now rewind that. And so if I'm sort of like streaming in, oh, come on, man. I hadn't really internalized I was doing a tech demo today. So, okay. That you can basically any kind of live footage that's coming in, you can just like instant replay, unless you're doing a live tech demo, in which case you can't.
And
So,
do you mean, Michael, like right now where I've
Yeah.
got Ecamm reflecting back to me?
Yeah.
How would I rewind?
So well, it's a feature that you have to unlock, but basically,
Okay.
there
I can show
is
it if you want, Michael.
there's a little thing up here that you can just hit pause at any moment and just like start panning back through. So I can sort of like go back,
I
go
see. That's
forwards,
called the
go
action
back.
replay.
Yeah, so that's your sort of like
Okay.
so the way I work with quite a lot of, let's just come back into a slide to get that out of the way. So that I work with a lot of people that use Ecamm, but I also work with a lot of sort of people that work in real classrooms. So this is invaluable if you've got the iPad hooked up to like microscopes in a teaching lab, or if you're sort of on a field, like you want to be able to just quickly show people what just happened and just like rewind it. And that's kind of the idea with that. You've just got this live feed coming in, and you can sort of bring in NDI cameras and bring in other sources, USB connected things. So Video Pencil works really well sort of away from Ecamm as well. So that's kind of like that's the headlines of Video Pencil. So maybe it's a good chance to just sort of like kind of like just what do people have questions about that? Like I've given you a sort of quick whiz through.
Yes, we do have a couple questions in the chat. And Kathy, I just read your message that you have to leave, but if you want to send me your email, I can add you to our email list if you want to put that in the chat. But thank you for joining us today, and you're welcome to come back anytime. And then the replays are available on our YouTube channel. If you go to ecammforeducators.com, it'll bring you to that so that you can catch up if you need to run out. So happy holidays. Thank you for joining us, Kathy. And we do have a couple questions, Michael. Let's see. Phil, Sunny, Dick have questions. So Phil, if you could start with your question, then Dick, and then Sunny. And Phil, I'm just going to ask you to unmute there.
Sorry, I didn't know I was muted. I have a problem with the shapes actually, and it just reminded me, because when I try to select a shape, now I'm on an old iPad and it's running with NDI because that's the only way I can do it. When I try and select one of the shapes, it actually draws like the highlighting box. So you go along the line of different shapes, the arrows and etc. etc. It actually draws. So if I know you can't see my screen, but if I'm going to go and hold on to the screen, and it should theoretically, let's see if it's actually not going to do it at all now. Hold on a minute. I can't select the shapes, but normally when I can select the shapes, you see how it's gone grey on me. It draws like a highlighted box and doesn't allow me to select the shape, like a left arrow.
Okay,
right.
so for bug reports, I have a Discord, squares.tv/Discord.
Sure.
So you start a thread in the I think it's Video Pencil issues, And then like if you can share if you can do a quick screen recording, show what the problem is, say what the iPad model is, I'll see if I can reproduce it. And basically I kind of like there's some differences between iPads, and sometimes it's I've just got a couple here. Like I've actually only got one decent one here. So if you do come across things, then I have a process for that on Discord. And since I think we're all on Discord, hopefully you can just jump in and sort of register that, and I can see if I can figure out how to make it happen for me.
No problem. I'll do that.
Is there a quick way, Michael, to get to the shapes? I only know to go settings and then symbols.
Yeah, so if you just press and hold anywhere, it pops up the menu, and then you move your finger left or right to change which shape, or pull down to cancel, and then you just like let go. Can I maybe I'll share that, share my iPad. Hopefully it's not, I don't know why it's doing this. I think I changed something. I'm in the middle of doing some stuff.
I think it's because you're spotlit actually, so I'm going to take you off spotlight.
No, this is a Ecamm thing that I'm in the middle of changing some stuff so that it usually sends a different feed when I'm showing the iPad screen, so that I avoid that. But so if you just press and hold, the little shape menu comes up. So while your finger's down, if you go left or right, that changes which shape you've got, and you can customize the set of shapes. You can change how long the delay is as well, because I think it's a little bit sensitive at the moment. And then you just let go, and that's going to put that there, and like undo it. So hold down,
I was on the magic wand. I was on the magic wand, and it doesn't come up.
It has to be a drawing tool, yeah, because it uses the color of the current drawing tool, yeah. So that's why.
And then
okay, did we have another question?
Yes, Dick, you had a couple questions.
Yes, my question is what I often do is I have one slide, and then I zoom in my picture. And if I make a mark to say a word, and I move my slide, can that also stick to that word, that it moves with it? Or is it just only on the screen what it is, and it's not connected, the layers are not connected somehow?
Where's your slide coming from? Sorry, if you're drawing in PowerPoint or something.
Like I've now this little bird on my screen.
So if you wanted to zoom in on that.
Yeah. If I zoom in and I maybe his eye, say, okay, is this, and then I zoom out, can it be still that mark on that eye, or?
Well, this is where we get into this is where we get into some of the other software that I've created around Video Pencil. So not in Ecamm, but I've made another whole piece of software called Ecamm Presenter where, yes, you can. So you can like present whatever there. It sort of lets you put together a sequence of cards. You can not only like whatever, when you zoom in on the iPad, if you're sharing your screen, it's going to zoom in on your screen. If you're sharing an image, it's going to zoom on the image. When you draw, it's going to stay sort of anchored to wherever you drew that thing. Yeah. And if you had like multiple different things, then when you go backwards and forwards, your drawings will also persist between those things. So as you can imagine, that would be pretty impossible to do just inside Ecamm. So this is sort of why I've built my own kind of stack of things to try and make that stuff possible.
Yeah, this is all you're saying. If I change scenes and I go back to a previous scene, then the marks come back that I have made before.
So it is possible to, like there's a lot to go into there, and it's sort of probably
I know.
Yeah, but like if you want to reach out, then I can. Yeah, I'm happy to take you through that if you want to reach out and talk about it, because I've done loads of stuff to make that kind of thing possible. Very difficult.
Yes, I can understand, because what I said, I was busy with the special effects, and if you move there something and you have to track. Do pixel tracking, and that's not easy.
However, that said, like if you load the image on the iPad, then it will stay anchored. So if instead of sharing it through your computer, if you just I think Video Pencil, even if you're on a Mac, if you copy an image, that's going to be there in the media menu to paste on Video Pencil. if you have your kind of iCloud account signed in. So that's how I would probably do that if I didn't have this other stack. So just like copy it, paste it onto the iPad, and now it's sort of living on the iPad, and you can zoom in and you can do all that stuff. So that's another option.
Okay, then both layers will be merged, like they will be merged, and then you can move them together around.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
And thank you. Yeah. And then I see that, Sunny, you have a question specifically about connecting your iPad to Ecamm. So let's just hold off on that one for just a second, and we'll come back to that. Then, Marty, you had a question. I think you put it up on the screen, David, a second ago, that you used to be able to use voice to text with your finger. Now it seems it only works if you use the pencil. Is there a setting that can be changed so that he can use voice to text with his finger?
That potentially sounds like a bug, because I hate doing it with with the pencil. But I would just check if there's a little thing up here, draw with finger, but maybe you just need to turn on draw with finger and that will fix it. Does this work? Hello. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's so again, like maybe there's a bug. Maybe there is a bug. Yeah, no, it's not kind of giving me anything today. It's not letting me. Let's try this. Yeah, the only setting that would affect it would be that draw with finger thing. But yeah, I don't seem to be getting it. But I never know if it's because I'm on a sort of dev version or if it's because it's
I
a bug.
just
So again, like, yeah.
Michael,
Okay.
it wasn't working for me. And the little T button was sort of faded. I closed,
Yeah.
reopened, and now it's working even with the finger.
Okay.
So
Oh, there we go. Yeah, it works for me as well. So sometimes, sometimes the audio goes a bit. So it's sort of obviously using the microphone input, and sometimes something happens with. And I did fix a major crash that had been happening for ages with that audio stuff last week, which was something to do with an assumption I'd made. So I have just touched that recently. So if you do see anything with that, again, again, it sort of comes back to like the sooner you can let me know about problems, just reach out to me because I will just like make priority to get that fixed if it's being weird. Or I'll tell you, no, that's how it's supposed to work. But probably I'll be like, oh no. Because I'm working alone. I don't have a QA team. I'm sort of like relying on your generosity to sort of like put up with the odd thing here and there and tell me about it when something goes wrong. So have we got any more questions? Oh,
can
yeah.
I ask
Yes.
a question? So it's sort of related to the connection question. It's a little technical, so forgive me. So you have this NDI option. If you don't use that, if you have video pencil camera on the applet on the computer,
Yeah.
what is that connection called then? If you're not using, is it still NDI, but just like a proprietary NDI?
Do you know what? I've never named it, and I should name it. It's a proprietary NDI, sort of alternative to NDI that I created using Apple's frameworks, Apple's video encoding frameworks. So you're just making me realize I should really just name that connection, because I'm always like, let's just use this my bespoke connection. Because the thing with that is, so NDI sends video back and forth, but my connection sends shoot remote control messages, video pencil remote control, like the Zoom, it tells you can clear it from the computer. So it's sort of like NDI, but you can do tons and tons of control stuff. And it's sort of, and that's what that shoot kit thing is. It was me sort of packaging that up in a way that I hoped that, that the guys would like maybe have a look at integrating that. I think they got decided Zoom would be a more lucrative option, but maybe they'll get to it at some point if some people bother them. But yeah, it's really yeah. So that it hasn't got a name, and I think I should give it a name.
And it's not NDI.
It's not NDI, no. It's
okay.
It's bespoke video compression over network stuff and my own protocols and my own stuff.
Thank you. So I don't know, should we Tatiana, we skipped over the connection question. Should we go back to that or no?
No, let's come back to it.
Sunny, yes. Let's come back.
I basically just have a quick question. I used your videos last week immediately after this meeting. I was able to immediately get on and I saw myself in Ecamm, but I may have just forgotten a step. I mean, I looked to see whether on my video pencil whether or not the settings were correct. And I was just curious, in general, what's the easiest way to connect your iPad to show up as a camera? Because it did it without a problem. I might just be forgetting something. NDI bandwidth, high quality, send NDI output is on 1080p, front camera, NDI smoothing 30 frames per second.
So, oh yeah.
Anything
So are you
anybody
seeing
knows?
it's so there's two sides to this. So are you having trouble seeing the video pencil layer in Ecamm, or are you having trouble seeing your Ecamm
I'm
feed
having
on the
trouble seeing
iPad?
my iPad. It says, and it's grayed out, Dr. Sunny's iPad 2022 video pencil, which was what
Yeah.
was live last week. So I'm going to another Ecamm meeting and with Val and Paul Duncan and Val, and they're doing video pencil today. I'm sure I'll figure it out.
Oh,
But
cool.
I had you here, and I
Well,
have my
it's
Ecamm crew.
here's the gotcha with NDI that is one of the reasons I built my own thing was it can be a bit fun. Like it sort of depends on your network quite a lot. And then it's sort of like I don't really get much information if it can't connect. So basically if but I have found that connecting over USB can cause problems with NDI, which was sort of like the main reason that I was like, well, that's not acceptable. I do have like a little workaround for that. But there is it will connect a different way over USB if it's NDI to just over Wi-Fi. So I first try and get it working over Wi-Fi, and then if you've got that working and then you plug it into the cable and it goes wrong, I have a little workaround that you can do for that, or like 16 other different ways to connect. Yeah, I would just say see if you can get it working over Wi-Fi, and that should it might get better results.
Yeah,
over
it worked
USB.
last week within like just watching the video, and I followed it. So today I didn't expect you to be here.
But Michael, when you say over
Thank
Wi-Fi,
you.
what
you.
how is that connection happening? If she's not
So
seeing
NDI
that,
is well, so
you mean using NDI?
Yeah, using the NDI connection. I'm assuming
you wouldn't suggest to her to install the video pencil camera? Or QCam for that matter?
I mean, it's sort of like it turns into a bit of a. I feel like if you're already on like Ecamm and you're kind of like used to it and like you're talking to me, then I can just tell you the workaround. I have other ways that are simpler if you've seen the video, but it's all like I would say I want everyone using QCam really, because that gives me like there's loads of other stuff that you can do, but I also don't want to. It's also I've heard there's a couple of issues with the QCam connection. I've heard from another Ecamm teacher that I think if you've seen it kind of working already, then just like NDI video pencil, there's no other dependencies there. So Ecamm probably just if you've seen that working, then just do it that way. But there is a rabbit hole if you want to start being able to do other things and really sort of QCam is sort of becoming a slightly different beast now. It can work with it's just there's a lot of distractions in QCam that would if you're just trying to use Ecamm that it might be a bit much to just sort of be hit over the head with, and probably my tutorials aren't quite there. So I'm like, which of the two tutorials did you see? Okay, let me just help like iron out the creases in that tutorial, and that's probably going to get you up and running quicker than me trying to sort of introduce 16 different other things into the mix.
I have a quick question for you, Sunny, to check too, to see. I know might be something simple, but in this top corner right here, is it set to Ecamm Live? Is that drop down menu here set to Ecamm Live? Because sometimes I have to click on that to make sure that I'm able to see it, and then I have to make sure that that overlay is not hidden in Ecamm.
So when I clicked, are you saying we're back camera, front camera,
exactly? Does that say Ecamm Live?
Yeah, it does. I'm on front camera. Let me go back to Ecamm Live. Okay, now it's Ecamm Live MacBook Pro. So let me go to Ecamm and see if I see it as a source, because that's what I would be doing, correct, everybody?
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
You want to make sure that in that particular overlay, and so I sometimes also have to select the source, like it doesn't pick it up automatically depending on the order, what I turned on first or second.
I
So
see.
mine says local host, video pencil in parentheses, and then if video pencil doesn't show up, you can double click it to make sure that that's correct
Right.
in the
Yeah,
list as the source, and that it's not
it's
hidden.
grayed out. Yeah, for some reason it's
Yeah.
grayed out, but I'll continue working because I did it by myself last week with no problem. There's something going on. I thought I could plug it in straight by USB-C, but no,
No,
right? Oh, so I
no,
might
no,
as
no,
well
no.
take that off. Okay, I thought that was a way. All righty. To be continued.
Okay.
I did it
That's so
last week.
contrary to like every piece of advice that we ever give people, like plug everything in. And Michael's like, no, don't plug it in.
Well, I'm like, if it's not working, it might be because it's plugged in and you need to do a weird thing. Well, you can see that's why I was like, well, I've got to try and figure out a way that is not a problem, right? Like, because that's crazy.
Right.
And it is, yeah, it just comes from NDI being a bit of a black box. By the way, it said local host. It calls it, so local host is like a developer term for like the same machine, and NDI has started saying that for the last like year and a half because Apple sort of made it the device name private, and like NDI hasn't really kind of dealt with that, and it means that it's instead of the name of your iPad, it's saying this, and I keep applying to Apple for the permission. You need to apply for an entitlement to be able to share that, which I've got for Shoot, but for some reason they won't give it to me for Video Pencil. I tried again last week, so I'm trying to make it not say localhost. I'm trying to make it say the name of your iPad because it's just this minor annoyance. But yeah, just one of those little things that triggers me.
Okay. And Marianne wanted to double check about the double issue. So Michael, if you like, I can recreate that scenario to show what can go wrong. So for that, guys, I'm gonna have to do Ecamm demo mode so you can see what I'm seeing. So it's gonna look a little bit small here, but here's Video Pencil, right? Here's my Video Pencil. I have it to show in all scenes. That's just my preferred way so that I can pop it anywhere. Oh, Sunny, you got it. You did it.
Hey.
Done.
Oh,
Nicely
Santa Claus
done,
is coming
Sunny.
to town. Okay.
It looks like the Grinch is coming to your town there.
Yeah. Now somehow I got this layer over me that's dark, but I'll figure it out. It's something that looks like
That's clear drawing.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, very
right,
well. Good. All right. Glad you got that figured out.
Okay.
So
I'll
over
mute.
here's the overlay, right? So right now it's locked, which we should all do, but let's just say right now it's not locked. So my Video Pencil overlay is this transparent one here. Let's just say I actually didn't take up the whole, hopefully you guys can see that it's got a little bit of an open space there. It's not fully taking up my entire screen. So now anytime I draw in Video Pencil, okay, so it's actually not doing the double thing on my end right now, which is weird because it usually does do a double thing.
You should make
Maybe
the
because
sizes
it's
more
still
different, but that's weird.
Let's see. I'm making it real tiny. Okay, so it's currently, well, what was happening before is that on my iPad, I would see whatever I draw double, even though it wouldn't show here. And the root of that issue is that this box was not sized to fully cover my space. And depending on what you have, it's hard to see, but like I can tell right now, okay, that is set to 100 maxed out on my screen. So I lock it and then I don't have any double issues when I'm drawing. But that was happening before. So the fact that it's not happening now, I don't know. I don't have an explanation for that, but
I think it might be a demo mode thing that it's not sending out the same thing to the iPad
Okay.
as you're seeing on the thing.
Let me end live demo. That would be interesting. Let me try it not in live demo mode. Yes, now it is happening. So you can see what you guys are seeing on the screen is just 2 Gs, and on my screen you see 4 Gs. So you're right. It has to do with live demo mode.
And the cause of that is it's like because Ecamm is sending back the video, the thing back out. So if they don't line up, then the illusion is broken. But a pro tip for that is I use a magic mouse, but use the mouse wheel to zoom in the layer, and it will just like fill the screen perfectly if you just zoom in, rather than, because it's really hard in Ecamm to like resize a layer from, especially when it's near the edge.
Say that again? Can you say that again, please? The tip.
So when you're hovering over the video pencil layer in Ecamm, if you use like your pinch to zoom gesture or your mouse wheel, it will scale that layer up and down. But if you just scale it to max, it will just automatically fill the canvas perfectly. So you can just like, with a quick, like, you can get it to exactly the right position. Just make sure it's snapped to the center. It's going to be in the right place. And just make sure that you don't have any borders or anything set to that layer as well, which I seem to see. I think Ecamm has started making that a default or something. So just watch out for that. You don't want rounded corners or anything like that. You just want a clean video source.
Yep, just square, plain, linear, all to fill it up to the edge for it to cover the whole space. And I'll add one tip too, is that whenever I created a scene that's specifically for video pencil, which puts me on the side and maximizes the space that I use. So if I ever want to do things, and then I added some contrast so that my drawings stand out versus say like white or anything. So that's, if you guys want to, you could create your own settings with a little bit of contrast in that too. Does that answer the question, Marianne?
Yes, it does. As you can see, like I think sometimes it's probably connections or something, because I'll have it to full screen. I did what Michael said, is do the, I don't have the magic pad thing, but if you press the option and then do your scroll on the mouse, yeah, it'll fill it. But yeah, sometimes I'll just turn it on, and then I haven't touched Ecamm, I haven't touched video pencil, and then it'll have the double lines. So it could be, if I don't lock video pencil in Ecamm, you know how sometimes you're scrolling through your scenes and it accidentally moves the tiniest bit. So I'll make sure I'll look out that it's fully covers the Ecamm screen.
Yeah, that's the only way I do it, because otherwise I inevitably end up moving stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's fine because no one else sees it on, your broadcast, but it bothers me because it's like, why is it double lines? So that's good. Thank you.
And question for you, Michael. I very often find myself creating these masterpieces when I'm drawing. Just kidding. I usually just want to actually be able to grab a screenshot of it, and that's what I actually do, is just grab a screenshot on my iPad, clicking the two buttons on the side to grab a quick screenshot. Is there a fast way to grab screenshots right within Video Pencil?
Well, you can share if this shares, is this going to share? Yeah, so we're back to this. I'm just going to quickly load a thing. This is my tip. I just have like a blackboard image that I use. I usually have a nice one. But if you've got a drawing, you can get if you use share drawing down here, that will give you a PNG of it. So if I were to just like copy this now, I could actually like now in my media library just paste that in, and now, oops, well, it's going to be very hard to see that because of the feedback. But yeah, so you've got, it's your two choices are either take a screenshot, or if you just want the drawing, then you can use that share picture feature just to sort of get the transparent image.
Yeah, if there's any way you could consider in the future adding that to the main menu bar for like fast access, that would be fantastic. But...
Well, I think it's so the thing with that is, I mean, it's already pretty busy, and I've got to be very careful about adding things to that toolbar, and before it just sort of gets a bit out of control. I would say I have like if you do use Video Pencil Camera or QCam, then there are sort of Mac keyboard shortcut. We can set up remote controls, so we could potentially do that as a Stream Deck button if you were connecting that way. So actually, in answer to David's question earlier, why use this other connection option when you've got NDI? We can do this remote control stuff, and you can like have a stream. So actually, this is maybe something to talk about. With Ecamm, I've actually made it so the Stream Deck plugin will show the actual graphics of those different pen tools. So you can select them from your Stream Deck, and you can clear, and you can, like, you know, do a few different things, turn on live titles in 3 different languages. You can sort of do a few different things directly from the Stream Deck. And so what I don't have is take a quick, you know, save image thing. Trouble with saving an image is, like, where does it put it? I guess it's just going to have to put it in your media library, if you're not going to have a pop-up that's a choice of where to put it. So that's, I guess, something else to think about. But if you maybe, like, we can have, if you wanted to open a issue in suggestions to, like, add a Stream Deck button for that, then that's something that I think would be a good place for it, rather than sort of like trying to sort of shoehorn it into sort of the main UI. But I am thinking about that kind of like backwards and forwards through things, and there is, at some point, Video Pencil will get some version of, like, forwards and backwards through a presentation kind of thing, in which case I'm sort of imagining you might, like, swipe to the next page, and then you kind of save out your document with all the images. So there's some stuff in future of different ways I might approach that, but it wouldn't be too hard to do a Stream Deck button right now. So if that's something that you'd be able to sort of, like, you'd be up for figuring out, then I'm happy to, like, throw that in, to be honest.
Okay, thank you. But in the meantime, knowing how to save the PNG transparency just of the drawing is helpful, because I was just taking screenshots, which always includes me in the drawing. Thank you. And then we have a question from, let's see, Dick is, can you have multi-layers with Video Pencil? Do you mean multi-layers of images?
No, if I'm drawing, for instance, I make a graphic, and I show that graphic, and I will make some notes, but I will keep that graphic, and then take the notes away, so that the graphic will be there, that I can make some other notes maybe, but that I can do that on another layer, so I can quickly take them away.
Not like natively. I think it's sort of, because it's a real-time drawing tool. It's sort of like, it's not going to have, like, Photoshop stuff, because you know, most of the time all we can manage is a quick. That's a thing I haven't actually mentioned, which I will talk about in a sec. But you don't have layers, but you can use the selection tool to kind of, like, selectively kind of, like, move stuff around. So I could, like, if you wanted to sort of get rid of that, you can sort of select elements with the selection tool. And something else you could do, if you wanted to build something up, you could do that thing that I failed to show you before, which was if you copy it as an image and then paste it back in, you can then have that as your background image and draw on it. And then when you clear it, it's still going to have that same background image. So there's sort of ways to do it, but I feel like it would be a bit overwhelming to start having, like, Photoshop multi-layer features in something that's really just for quickly doing something. But that does remind me that, you know,
for me, I'm used to it. I'm used to it to have multiple layers. So, for me, it's like we have our overlays in Ecamm. We have all kind of overlays. You can switch them on. We can then switch them off. I like that. I thought maybe there's something like that possible, that you have an overlay in Ecamm, and you can switch it on and switch it off. And
well, I think I'd definitely like to talk to you about how you're using this stuff, because I'm sure I've got versions of solutions for this kind of thing that you would enjoy. Something I was going to just mention is, if you are sort of, like, not confident in your drawing, you can actually, I don't have anything good here, but you can actually, if you long press on any of the images in your library, you can actually select trace this. So if I was like, okay, I really love this drawing of a face. Oh, this is so hard to demonstrate. Let me see if I've got anything in my media. It's just, if I bring this up, it's going to be 2 million baby photos. Let me just say I've got, and a scab, lovely. So say you had, I don't know, what's this? Like this weird cat thing. Is it going to come up? Sorry, my animate. Let me try another one. What have we got? Sorry. Let's okay, what have we got? We've got a little bowl of I'm just trying to show something here, and it's being annoying. Okay, so say you've got this, you've got this picture. You're like, hey, I think this is a cool style of thing. But if instead of selecting that, you went, oh, in fact, you can just press trace picture there. So if you press, you can either long press on it, and it will give you the option to trace it. And what that gives you is it's going to let you sort of position it and sort of like set the opacity. Like you can sort of have that a bit bolder if you want to be able to see more. You can have the opacity less. But if you were sort of like, okay, I want to draw this cat, so that's what I'm seeing. But if we look down here, like now I can. It's not going to let me do that. What your audience will see is just the drawing that you've drawn. So you sort of like trace over something, and sort of like you can look like you're good at drawing. So if I just like remove that, this is frustrating. But yeah, so there's, I would say, like if there's a few different tools to kind of make it easier to do stuff in a live environment, and that's the sort of way I've gone tracing, I've gone like quickly take a screenshot and draw back over it. I've gone like, here's the sort of real-time selection tools, but it would be hard to sort of add too much more complexity than that. As you see, it was already quite hard to demonstrate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Michael. I know, Marianne, you have a quick question, and that's about, can we grab a screenshot live in Ecamm? And yes, we can. If you go to the recordings menu and then go to recording, and then there's save photo, or the shortcut key is Shift Command G. I have that set as a button on my Stream Deck, and with a 5-second countdown timer, so it gives me a second if I need to, take a picture with Ecamm. So that's a nice little trick too, is to set it up as a multi-action on the Stream Deck with a few seconds to, get yourself ready. Because a lot of times I want to use my hands in the photo, and I can't do that if I'm having to press a key. So that's a really cool way to grab a screenshot from Ecamm.
Yeah, there's another trick actually you've just made me think of. Sorry, another trick is because if you are using NDI, it's sending NDI out. You can actually download from the NDI website the NDI video monitor, and just like bring the video pencil feed into that, and then you could just record a video of the transparent drawing in there, or just take a screenshot of that as well. So so basically any other NDI app on the same network will be able to receive that feed, and you can just kind of do whatever you want with that as well.
I feel like I need NDI training, NDI 101.
Sorry, anyway, who did I interrupt?
And then other
Anybody
about
else need to add anything?
Yeah, about this screen, you said Command Shift 3. What I always also do is to prepare the Command Shift 5. Then you can take a part of the screen. But like I have now the comments on, if I don't want to have the comments and just have on the screen just a little part, I prepare that always with Command Shift 5. So if I use that, then I have direct with Control C that picture.
Yes, so there's the Apple built-in screen grab, and then there's one to grab a Ecamm as well, to grab just your Ecamm main window too. So there's a few different ways that we have to be able to do that. Thanks. Yes, Dick. All right, folks, we are running in overtime, so it was a very lively, interesting conversation. Video pencil is a tool. It just seems like we all really like. Even Les, who had to leave, said, "Need to run. Thank you so much. Love video pencil." So you definitely have some fans here, Michael. Thank you for creating a really great tool, because that I know of, there is no other one that allows you to see yourself so that you can position and draw properly, right? That I know of. Yours is the only one, which is why it's my favorite.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything still.
You could do it with a Wacom tablet, but it's very expensive, and this just no one.
There's also a way to use video pencil to do that as well on the Wacom tablet. So,
at the moment, I'm using Wacom, so it's I swear for Wacom. I like it, but it has I'm using still the Intuos 3, the old ones, and they are cheap. Easy to do, but you have you cannot see, so you have to guess where you're on the screen, and that's the problem you have. Or you have to go to the Quintix, but they are really expensive. Yes.
Well, thank you so much, everybody, for your time. I had prepared this whole trivia thing, so we'll just have to, maybe we'll do an after the holidays trivia about the holidays next month.
Yeah, next
I'll
time.
save it for next year. But
Yeah.
I also wanted to ask you, what would you, any ideas or thoughts for what you'd like to talk about next month? January. Anybody have a pressing something that they
Well,
want?
I'm always having my birthday, and I think I give my gift of the Stream Deck. And I'm thinking
Ooh.
about what are the possibilities about how mapping in the Stream Deck, the key behind the key, and how to use that. What can you do, and what must you absolutely not do? So it can be a complete mess on your Stream Deck, or how can you make that easy, simple? What kind of buttons do you have in front to go in a deeper layer, maybe?
So
How can I?
talk about the Stream Deck.
Yeah, how can I organize my Stream Deck?
We may want to add to that. There is, at some point, I have no idea when, a new beta is coming, and it's going to have some really nice new zoominess in it. That will
With Ecamm?
With Ecamm, yep. New beta of Ecamm, not a beta of Zoom. But some nice new Ecamm for Zoom features, and we, maybe spending some time on that integration and how to best take advantage of that, maybe even with the Stream Deck, might be cool.
Okay. So if that will be released by our next meeting, we can do that. But so certainly Stream Deck, maybe some of the basics of Stream Deck. And if there is new updates with Ecamm for Zoom, we can talk about those as well.
And maybe if there's a few, I mean, I did have something in the background, but I don't want to show it because we're getting late. But, if you've got a little nugget to show, whether it's something that's going to work with Ecamm or just generally that's going to make your life better, might be worth doing that. So
absolutely.
that
and now I feel like you can't leave until you show us whatever it is.
No.
And my mind will not rest until you show me what it is you wanted to show us in the background.
No, I'll show it next time. I'll be there next time.
Okay. If you're sure.
Yeah.
But, Michael, you're welcome to join us here anytime. Again, we focus on training, education, and all the ways that we do use Ecamm. And I have something cute I want to show you guys. This is my sister's doggie. She's down at my feeder. We're babysitting. They're in Costa Rica for the holiday season. So we just dropped them off at the airport this morning, and she is passed out next to me over here. So I wanted to show you a little puppy we're going to be spending some time with, and some of the layers, the scenes that I created. So Dr. Sunny saying, "Phil, I love your lights." Because I tried to make everything festive for this month, but also inclusive, so that it's inclusive of people of all different faiths and celebrations. So I chose, and with my students too, like choosing something more wintry. So I just wanted to share some of those.
That's not very inclusive of us Floridians who don't have snow. I just want to say, I'm feeling very left out.
Or us on the other side of the world where it is very, very hot.
Yeah, exactly.
But I love it. I love it. I love it.
Oh, is it? Is it, Marianne? Is it hot? Oh, I'm so jealous.
Summer.
It's cold over here.
December is summer, and I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, but it's mid 30 degrees Celsius here in Australia at the moment.
That's hot.
It's hot. It's very hot.
Oh, sweet message. Thank you very much, Marianne. That is totally cute. I love that. Well, happy holidays, everybody. It's been a delight. And thank you, Michael, for your time today. Thank you, David, for making sure that Michael joined us today. All of your, for making that happen. Appreciate you. Darren and Phil and Marty and Dick and Sunny and Marianne and everybody else who joined us today, and anybody who's watching the replay, thank you for being here with us. Ecamm for Educators. Next month, I will send out a reminder to Marianne. If you send me your email, I can send out a reminder to you too. And Phil, did you get an email from me today? I don't know if I have your email. If you want to get reminders from me, like before our meetings and stuff. Let me know if you guys want to drop an email. I'll add you to the list, but appreciate you and wishing.
How do I give you, shall I put my email on here?
Yeah, put it in the chat and I'll grab it from that. If that works for you, I'll grab those from there. And again, feel free if you want to in the future, you have something great that you want to share with us, you can have the floor. We can plan for that. So this isn't the type of thing where it's either David or I or a guest that needs to run the show. Like this is our group. We can run it however we want, and we'd love to learn from each other. So I know I got Marty on my radar for teaching us some of the ways that he makes the cool videos pop on screen. Yay! Look at that, so cute. And I have both your emails. Thank you so much for sharing that. And guys, have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful holiday season with your friends and your family and your loved ones. Any parting words? Anything else you want to add, David, or anyone here today?
Hey, Marty, do you sell your little icons? Oh, did I lose my video? Do you sell any of your icons? Your animations? Can anybody hear me?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, Marty.
That's actually from. We can talk about it next time, but it's an app called Create Studio where you can get all those assets and customize them to whatever you want. So look up Create Studio.
Create.
Yeah, Create
CREA.
Studio. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Okay.
Sorry, one
Bye,
final
everyone.
thing. Dr. Sunny said that there's is it an Ecamm thing that you're jumping into, another training with video pencil? Is it an Ecamm?
We had trouble last week getting on, so we said we were going to watch the videos and figure it out. So there is an Ecamm group that we already take. We're in the Ecamm Live Academy. Okay. So it's a bunch of us. Oh, yeah. Otherwise.
Thank
See
you.
you soon.
Sonny, I've sent you the party bulbs just in case you wanted them.
What?
In the chat.
Okay. I'm going to a meeting tonight. I even have my ugly sweater. I just bought it a few minutes ago before I got here so I can go to my meeting and have fun. Oh, let me get those lights. Hold up. Wait, I'm so excited. Okay, I'm downloading. Yeah, thank you.
Just add them as an animated overlay. That's what you do in Ecamm.
Oh, there's another thing, another level. Okay. I'll figure it out for sure. I just downloaded
Look in your overlays and you can add it in as an overlay.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. And Michael, I see you've got your website up actually that's how to join your Discord, right? Squares.tv/Discord.
Okay.
Sort of follow up. Yeah.
Lights.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I took away some new tips myself today, so this was excellent.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
Yeah, it was a great day. Thank you.
Ciao, everyone. Happy holidays.
See you later.
Ciao.